Hi guys, this is Carol. I just finished one. It looks terrible on this camera, but it looks way better in person. This is the first piece that I have finished in this challenge I've given myself of pieces I want to complete and sell in as quickly as possible. I just wanted to share something interesting about my process that I've noticed through the little bit of time that I've been painting. I've only been painting for a couple of years. My process is so connected to worship. Um, which is like why I have headphones in, because I listen to music while I paint, like most people do, but I'm very particular about what I listen to. And if it doesn't feed my spirit, I don't listen to it, because then it's not gonna translate when I need it to in the actual painting. God will show me things and kind of the same thing over and over and over again, and translating it in different different ways visually. If you would have seen this piece and see how I felt about it before I actually finished it, like the layer under this one is like hideous. I noticed that every single painting that I do, I have like an artist's identity crisis. Why am I doing this? Why am I painting? I'm terrible. This is horrible. It looks like a kindergartner did it. And I go through that every single time that I paint. I need to step away and then come back because I'm getting pissed off. The layer before this one was that point for me. He said something really specific to me this time though, and I decided to move it to the side and just take a break from it. As I was starting to work on another one, thinking about this one and how much I hated it, he was like, focus on the one you're doing right now. Don't worry about that one. I will redeem it. I've never heard God say such a full, like, few sentences so clearly to me. God shows me every single time, which is what I hope through sharing my process, that somebody will hear the gospel through the process. It was ugly. It was a mess. It was terrible. It was chaotic. It didn't make sense. It was everything that a painting should not be. When I came back to it after taking a break and taking a little bit of a nap, watching some BuzzFeed videos, and I came back and he redeemed it. And what I want to show you, I know it's hard to see because the lighting sucks, which again, donate to the GoFundMe and I'll have better lighting. It's hard to see. There's an 8 here and here, right? And it's been, one, a connection to my grandmother. She died when she was 88 years old. Ever since she passed away, everything that I paint ends up with eights in it. I did a drawing with 8 daisies in it, and it wasn't intentional. It just keeps showing up. So this is how I connect to her, but then also 8 is the number of new beginnings. It's really interesting to me that that number shows up so often in my work, and I go through the same process every single time where I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with myself. I'm having an identity crisis. I take a break, and then I come back, and God is like, this is what I do. This is who I am. When you think it's a disaster and there's no hope for it, I don't just change our perspective, I change the situation entirely. And all you have to do is wait for me. So I hope that ministers to somebody. If you don't know him, I encourage you to work on that, because it's so worth it. It really is. If you're not happy with yourself or your life or your situation or whatever, it may take a second and you're going to be frustrated, but God will redeem it. So I decided I'm going to call this one New Beginnings. I never name my pieces either. So the fact that I have a name for it, that means that there's something real deep. So yeah, also somebody should buy it. Just throwing that in there. Anyways, bye!